Hello. So this is a Battle of Britain tournament match. It's between RTK Taj and USSR Toten. Toten's the admin of the tournament, so he's a good sport. So it's found on the Rus League. Taj is taking Norse. Toten is taking Gwined. Let's see how this battle pans out. So, as you can see, Taj is taking a relatively meta build with these thrall spearmen just being used as meat shields and to block the arrows. He's got 3 cav, 4 cav, Viking scouts, there is mobility, core of the berserkers, couple of Uskals, a Royal Uskal general, and interestingly this unit you don't see too much of, the Viking skirmishers. I haven't seen it yet. It might be that it's come into play this past week, which I've not played much this week. And Toten, he's got a completely different build, and I love this build to a degree. So he's got 3 cav, that's including his general Tulu, 2 Welsh horsemen, and we've got Welsh swordsman, 1 uses Welsh armoured axeman, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 longbowmen. He's also got 2 units of cantrip spearmen. So clearly Toten is going to want to kite this match. He's got to make the most of those archers if he's to do that. And the only real way of achieving that is if he can get those archers surround him. Now the problem I can see is that Taj has got 4 of these Viking scouts. Toten's only got 3 cav, inclusive of his general, which means there's going to be at least 1 cav unit from Taj that's going to have free reign to hit these archers, because that is what Taj will be going for. If he can get those archers gone, it's game over, because you can't kite if you haven't got the missiles. So, are we going to see some shots off? No, Toten's still getting into position. Here comes the first charge. Here, Taj has had to pull out of that because this cav unit here had come to block off the route here. But that there is an absolutely flawless piece of micro to fit through that gap between these Welsh armoured axemen and the Welsh armoured swords. That's already showing Taj's intent. He's caused them to rout. He's lost a few men, but that's acceptable casualties, because the archers are the only way that Toten can win. This unit here is a bit out of position and it could be threatening. That was a nice charge by Toten. So what Toten will be doing is trying his best to take out these Viking scouts, because if he can keep pulling back and not let Taj's infantry have a factor in the game, that's how he will win. It's a great battle of 2 different styles. This is a bad move by Taj. He's giving Toten free run here, but this potentially has beauty, because this unit is now exposed. 1 archer unit shattered. There's berserkers going amok, completely out of position. These archers here, they are going to destroy this berserker unit because it's going to have fires in the back. There's that unit getting routed. This is bad for Taj, though. He's losing one of his scouts. Taj will be hoping that this unit shatters. These frontline engagements going Taj's way, but that's not unexpected, and he's got a much better infline. Toten might just be sacrificing those, but if he can use this weakened scout to shatter the Cantref, that would be a game. Toten again using his general to fight against Viking scout unit, and that has gone his way. But here at the back, this is mixed bag. So Taj is routing this archer unit, but Toten has managed to get his Welsh horses in and do some damage. It's a fairly finely balanced match at the moment, but I do prefer where Taj is. He's managed to hit these archers again, and this is clever because, oh, I thought it was clever. All these archers here, and there's 4 of them, have no cav protection. If he can get in amongst them, he can cause a lot of damage. I think he's going to lose this Viking scout here. Well, I haven't been watching, and I did tell myself I want to watch, is how well these Viking skirmishers were doing. He's got 18 kills up to now, which is pretty good. The other unit's not got any, but this cav is starting to ramp up its kills. This is Taj's last cav unit, so it's quite crucial. He's got to do as much damage as he can, because he is going to lose his final cav unit. And he's really got to be thinking now of push, push, push. Because if he gets into melee, he will win. He's got to pull this cav unit away to get out of the way of these Welsh horsemen. But I do like where Taj has got to now. He's wrapped up this flank that was there, and he's onto the second part of Toten's army. He's got a few wavering units, but if you notice, they're all the spears. And I think he's only lost the 1 berserker so far. Whereas Toten, he's lost half of his archer component. You know, he started with 8. He's down to 4, of which 1 is completely out of position. Oh no, he's down to 5, sorry, pardon me. But the others have taken, or some of the others have taken some damage. That is the end of the Viking scout. So that's bad news for Taj, because those archers now won't get caught until they run out of ammo and are forced to fight. That was Toten's aim. Toten's targeting the general with those archers. A good move, and we see that Taj's general is taking quite a pounding, which is why Taj needs to push on all fronts there. Toten using what units he can to try and block off. He's using those skirmishers to fire on the archers. Good move by Taj. Here comes a cav charge into the axis, but Taj did turn. These are the Uskals. They're taking some damage from that charge, but yeah, unless you get, and it is only light horse, unless you get a perfect charge into the rear of a unit, especially if they're engaged, then infantry will beat cav in that scenario. The question is, how much ammo have these archers got? I cannot see this unit lasting too long. The Welsh Armoured Axemen. They're up against Berserkers. And there we go. So, Toten's now looking in a precarious position. He's completely forgot about this fellow over here, which could be firing into the rear of these units. And he's trying to cow it, but I think he's struggling on anything to block off the advancing hordes of Taj. If Toten can turn it around, these two units become crucial. If he can... Actually, I don't think he can turn it around, because he's not got enough units to cause the hammer and anvil, and it looks like his archer units are getting caught, or... Nah. Okay, Toten's giving up the ghost, he's charging his archers in. Either that or they are out of ammo and he's got no option. It could well be the latter, because we're getting to the later stage of the battle. And you know that if you're forced to charge your archers in, you need to be facing less units than this to be gaining the victory. It's been a good battle, very fun. I personally think it was always going to be tough for Toten to take this one with the build that he had against Taj's build, but we saw some great micro from both players. Really, I really like that charge from Taj early on, with the cab unit slipping through the swords and axes to hit the archers. But Taj always looked pretty much in control. And this battle is only going to go one way now. These guys still got arrows, and they're going to be firing into the rear of these thrall spearmen. General coming in for a charge. Oh, poor timing. The sword's just routed. He's still going to get a nice rear charge into the berserkers and not kill many at all. That was unlucky. And the general's fleeing. Mass rout. Enemy general's dead. One Welsh armoured swordsman left on the field. Good victory for Taj. It's a Pyrrhic victory. Let's have a quick look. The berserkers, as you can see, were dominant. There's the one that ran off and got shot to pieces. The Hussgulls doing exceptionally well. I've seen Hussgulls fail quite a lot, especially against kite build, but yeah, Taj mastered them. A fairly cheap light cav did a good number on the archers. Skirmishers picked up a few nice kills, and the spears did okay for Toten. His sword line, well, probably not strong enough. The Welsh Armoured Axemen, alright. A few of the archers certainly paid for themselves, but then there were some that most certainly did not. And Toten's cav did pretty well. Pretty well. They were busy fighting off the Viking scouts. Good match to both players. This was leg 1. It is a best of 3. Let's see who proceeds.